Hello, hello. Sam Toper Sound of Joy Music Services, and coming on with an impromptu stream. I'll be doing that from time to time. An idea pops in my head. I'm going to go live. I'm just setting up things here so I can share this stream with others. So, as you come in, let me know that you are here and where you are from. This way I can acknowledge you. We're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to have some fun tonight. Give me a second to share the stream on my Facebook page. Don't like to leave musicians out. As you can see, I'm changing up how my live page looks. I've added some trinkets there to sort of brighten up. I'm wearing my hoodie, of course, Sound of Joy merchandise, so I am grifting a little bit. But I want to have some fun. I want to have some fun. You're going to hear me sing a little bit, match, coordinate chords. It's going to be fun. Let me just share to my group. On my Facebook page, I have a group dedicated towards church musicians. Again, I believe in sharing everything. Okay. That's done. Let's go back to the YouTube page. There we go. Hey, Josiah Brown. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Please feel free to ask questions. As I say, I have nothing to hide. And this is impromptu. What I'm typing, I should do is look at what I'm typing so I can spell my words correctly. There we go. Still spelt the word wrong. There we go. I'm not a typist, but in my early days as a technician for the IBM Corporation, I serviced typewriters and I learned how to type to test machines out. So I got a good understanding of how to get to keys and how to type out reasonably enough to know whether or not I did a good job. So again, Sam Tobert. Hey, Micah. Well, thank you. Sam Tobert, Sound of Joy Music Services. I am always, and I'm going to be endeavoring to try to bring the best content here on YouTube as I possibly can. As I've said in the past, my last two streams, I'm so thankful for the viewership so far. Year of 2022, I'm still breaking numbers. Learning on how to play organ, switching from playing keys for about 2 years now. Any advice on how to play behind the lead keyboardist? Um, I will cover that, and I will bring up my organ patch so I can discuss that with you. Believe it or not, there is a lead instrument in the church, and that is the organist. If he is skilled, the piano in the church, the piano follows the organist. So that may be a point of contention where you two will have to agree upon who's leading and who's either accompanying or following. And usually when you accompany an organist, you both know the songs that you're playing. If you're say playing for a preacher during the preaching moment, then you're running the show. He's in the background, maybe just getting a little tinkling, but you're running the show as the organist. If you're playing for a choir, well, there everybody's playing their part. The organist has their part, the piano has their part. Or if you're playing for the praise team. But when you're the organist, you know the big O, as you might say, you're in charge of the music. You're the lead. You're the loudest instrument. But as the scripture says, if you're going to play loud, play skillfully. That's what I'm attempting to get musicians to up the level of their skill, so that they can move up in the ranks of being a musician. So I Surrender All is the song that I selected. It doesn't have to be there, but I want to give some movement to that song as to how to, let me just bring up my Cordy app, how to maneuver around that basic melody, and maybe even change how it's actually being approached. And I'll cover that from an organ standpoint also. I'll bring up the organ app in a second. So let me put on my headphones because I can't hear the keyboard if I'm not wearing them. As you see, this is the new, and I'm going to be trying different looks. Viewer requests, gospel chords, Zoom, and Skype. Those are some of the things that I've done, and some of the things that are coming in the future. Still in the bass mode. I was just upgraded my Pro Tools, so I was testing it out. So I'm in the actual. I'm still in the bass mode. So if I was going to be playing bass, and what you see me doing, it still scales. It still scales. It matters what instrument that you're going to be doing it on. Let's switch over to my piano. Okay, so who joined us? We have 5 watching. So I Surrender All is still the most watched video on my YouTube channel. And every time I go through that video and see why are so many people asking for it, I think the song more than the music is what's actually resonating with people. They like the words and the tone that actually sets an atmosphere for the listener. Now, as you can see, I've got a different look here because I want to be able to play and still be able to look at you. But I still can switch over to my screen here. Let me get rid of the last 2 productions. We're not in viewer request, and we're not doing that. In the key of C. Adjust my seat. It's always good to have your seating correct when you're playing. I was turned to the side because my home position for playing is middle C, and usually my knee is lined up with middle C because that gives me the space to go to all the chords that's all over the piano. All to Jesus I surrender all. him I stay with the minor, freely give. Now, chords that resonate right in this area, this is what I call the actual sweet spot. People feel those chords. So no matter what key you're in, if you're in this sweet spot, so I say from here to here, you can capture. And even on the organ, there's a sweet spot in the organ also. You can capture the the musical attention. I won't say the spirit. That takes a while to do. You have to have some what they call chutzpah to catch somebody's spirit, but you can catch the actual musical spirit where they can hear the melody and sing it to themselves without even knowing it. There it is. So I took a whole different path, same melody, but I began to add a little what they call, the trills, and extend out. I will never. Just trying different chords. I surrender all. Traditional hymns, yes, all to Jesus I surrender. I surrender all. The traditional hymns, if when you can chord around that melody, you can change the whole um, path of the song. But then that doesn't mean that you can't. What they do now is reharmonize. I got to finish out that word. Stop saying reharm, but reharmonize a hymn. Still not letting it get too I say lost in the weeds music wise, but still keeping the listener. So if I were to go, I, I surrender all. I surrender all. Hmm. I surrender. I surrender. I surrender all. Nope. So you see me in my head, I'm hearing the changes and trying to find the notes around what I'm hearing in my head, staying with the melody. Now again, I changed it this way. I surrender, render all to Him. All to Thee, I forgot the words already. See what when I start to change the song's pattern, I lose my lyric bass line. I usually can, as a musician, I'm also singing when I know the words. I surrender all to Thee. my blessed Savior, I surrender. See, now that I went back to normal, I could find the lyrics within the melody. So, surrender all. I surrender all. Resolve. Take it out. And all to thee, my blessed Wow. Yeah, reharm is what I'm doing. I am harming that song so badly. But this is what happens when you are in a mode of, hey, let's just try something different to see what it sounds like. And you only do that in your practice sessions. You don't do that on a Sunday morning or whenever you're in service. That's why I said you have to have a base of home chords so that if you ever go outside of the home chords, you can always find your way back. Diminish. It changes from a diminish because I'm adding different notes. I surrender. Turn around and oh. I surrender all. A major. Surrender, goodbye. And then with a G over C. Oh. Now I hear all these chords that I'm playing in my head because I've practiced them so many times, so that when I want to pull it out, and I'll know if it don't sound right. Now, to some of the contemporary musicians today, they go, "Oh man, those chords were hitting it," and I know in my head I'm going, "No, they weren't." But who are we playing for? Well, they'll say that we are playing up as unto God. I always had the attitude that God already knows what I sound like. It's the other person who I'm playing for who hasn't heard me. So I can't show any different chords than what's already been placed in me, but I certainly can play something different. Let me get out of C and go to D flat or C sharp to those who have um, an issue with calling it D flat or C sharp. I like D flat because when you change the key, all of a sudden, at least to me, my fingering and my muscle memory says, "Wait a minute, we're in a new key." Now my fingers feel different, but the notes and the tones are still what I would have been doing in C. now all of a sudden I'm hearing a whole different range of chords that I've used in other songs, and I'm just bringing them in. I surrender. B flat over F. Oh, resolve. Oh, to thee, go traditional. Nice jazz chord. It's Savior. A Thomas Whitfield chord. Just, and again, letting what I've learned and I've played in the past and see whether or not it fits. Doing a turnaround. I surrender all. I surrender all. See. Don't want to miss anybody. So the fun part of what I do is that I can hear other styles that I've played over the years and go and see whether or not, given if I were in a concert atmosphere or if I was doing it as a solo, would I want to do a repeat? Classical. Jazz. There it is. There it is. That is a, let's see, that is a, I'm going to say that's a classical chord. Boom, 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 boom. There it is. I surrender all. Scales. yeah, I borrow movement, I borrow chords from any kind of song that's in my head, and when I let my mind just go free, I go looking for, gee, can I try that in there? Little jazz there. All right, change key. Again, this is a shared session, so there's nothing really being, nothing written down. I was just going through some changes in I Surrender All since it is one of my most viewed videos. And when I, from memory, when I did that, I was just doing what I'm doing right now. Gee, what if I just tried it this way? And it is the most watched video on my channel. Let's go to the key of D major. Chord app, take me to D major. Now everything will change for me in the key of D because my muscle memory knows what chords I like to use, and I will automatically default to those chords. Mm, mm, mm. Ah, yeah. Now I'm thinking D flat changes in E flat, and my mind is saying, no, that's not what you do. You don't do those changes here. Mm. Diminish. B major. Diminish. All right, so that's B. That's D major chord. Yes, I do. Um, when I start getting into the D major mindset, I'm now finding all of those chords that I would throw in there, and the different ones that would fit. Now again, D major. What's in there? D, E, F sharp, because now we're in the sharp mode. G major, A, B major, C sharp, and back to D, which means I can borrow chords from each of these scale tones. I can borrow this one. I can borrow this one. I can borrow this one. I can borrow this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and all the coordinating chords that are in there. Anyway, I'm gonna go to E flat, and think I'm gonna stop there. If there are any questions, please ask. So let's go to E flat. Maybe I'll change up the song. Mr. Note. That's my practice whenever I go into a new key. Now I didn't do the whole scale. Then in D major, but when I get to E flat, which I think I did a natural congregational song practice in E flat. That's like my favorite part of jazz, to be in that key. There it is, that B flat, and then and resolve. Um, hey, Ronald, thanks for coming in, stopping by. Just giving some ideas and also shedding with musicians, and in the selected song was "I Surrender All," because in my on my YouTube channel, that is the most viewed video on my YouTube channel, and I'm always wondering why. I did that video in 2012. It's got over 200,000 views, just that one video. And at the time, if I remember right, when I did that video, I'm doing what I'm doing now. Let me just try something different, give it a different approach, different chords. And for some reason, everyone likes where I was thinking at that one moment. Don't ask me to redo it, because I can't. When I look at it, I go, well, gee, why did I go that way? Oh, that's why I went that way. But I couldn't redo that video again. So this is kind of the things that goes on in my head. I'll take a song and re-harmonize it in different keys, Hey, Joshua. So, of course, if there's any questions, please stop me. That's why I'm here to actually show you the mindset that I've been using for decades now, and I still use as I'm learning other songs. Sorry about that. I'm in my basement, and I hear the heating system running. I hear all the pipes popping, and I get conscious when I hear stuff I'm not used to hearing. So E flat. Let me see. Trying to think of another song. Or everybody does. Great is thy faithfulness, O God my Father. There is no shadow there is no shadow of F turning from me. I had to think of where my notes were going to go. Because again, scale. Turn. That's why hymns are such a good practical place to learn how chords. Could you play it in time, like with a drummer playing? Which song is that, Joshua? Because I can pull up any kind of a drum pattern that I have on my keyboard and give you an actual demonstration. So which song could I play in time with a drummer playing? Thou changes not, the compassion, they fail not. Jazz chords. As thou hast been thou forever. D will be F7. Great is faithfulness. Now you know it's going down to C. You know the next note's going to be C, so you can just go straight down. Great is, or if you're right up here, great is thy faithfulness, and just drop it down. Bam, bam, bam. Great is. Now you in C. Thy faithfulness. A flat. F7 to B flat. Oh, I surrender all. I can put it with a drum pattern. Let's see what we got. Who we can assign to it. Dry standard kit's gonna give me a rock pattern. Let's see what this. No, I think I want that pattern. Let's see. Modern. I surrender to him I freely give. How would you play it in a church at a slower tempo? That well with a rock beat. A rock beat has to have a lot of oomph to it. I'd have to get one that's a slow. I think I've got a slow one. Let me see if this is it. No, that's not that one. Ah, there. This is what you mean. All right, slow like that. Yes. If I had a drummer that if that's the what I would call the beat of the day, and the people are in tune with that, then I would just, as you saw me doing, finding the downbeat when I had that. Let's see, when I had that. Get that real, what they call gospel sound. Yes, Lord, and all that sort of stuff. Hey, guy, thank you. So yeah, styles are merely interpretations from other artists or other creators that you're just borrowing from. So when I start going into that, what they call that 6/8 gospel timing, which I think is what this drum pattern gives me, then there is a pattern that you can attach to it that, believe it or not, will resonate with the person that's actually listening to it. Now, I think I had a question about organ. Where is that? Yes, from Josiah about the organ, and I said I would bring up my organ patch. So let me do that now, because I did say I would do that, because he is transitioning, and that's a big deal to be going from piano to organ. That is a big deal, because you now become the main musician when you go to organ. So let me bring up my organ scene. It should still be here. Here it is. This is my organ scene. Of course, I'm not there. This is no longer being used, so that can go away. Okay, we'll get rid of this. We'll keep our stained glass there, and let's add me in. One second, and I will be popping in. There I am. And I've got to put on a filter so that you don't see my messy studio setup here. Let's get my filter. Where are you? Nope, not that one. There you go. There we go. And let's put me out of the way. Kind of in the way, out of the way. So yes, the organ, as you become, make this a little bit bigger and bring this up. As you become familiar with it, take you to the back. As you become familiar with it, is a beast within itself. Let's move all these nice guys out of the way. There we go. Because you are tackling the beast. It is called that for a reason, because you can't fake anything on an organ. There we go. I'm going to bring those drawbars up. You can't fake anything on the organ. You have drawbars which give you your tones. You have foot pedals which give you your bass and your actual bottom to what you're doing, and you have dual manuals. One of the rare times when a musician will be using feet and dual manuals at the same time if you don't have a bass player. That is why I had said when you become the organist, you become the man or the woman who's on the organ, because you now are the lead instrument. Piano is the lead instrument in a recording, but in church, the organ is the lead instrument, and it must be heard. You have an expression, got to reach for it. An expression pedal that controls your sound. You have drawbars that give you different tonalities to what the organs sound like. You have a foot pedal, which if you don't have a bass player, you become the bass player. I know Leslie. So the organ is the instrument in the church, I should say. Now on the band set, the organ will become a moot point, unless of course you're Corey Henry. The organ gets pushed in the actual background. Let's see. What I want to do is let's change this scene a little bit. Come on now. There it is. Alrighty. So you can see you got all those drawbar settings. And you see me moving them. The ones on the upper, moving the bass pedals. And this is all done. This is all done while you're actually playing. Now you may start. There are presets. Like I got presets that are like normal for me. This is a normal preset for me. That's a normal preset. You may like this setting for your subtle organ playing, right there, and right here. Now I got the percussion on. I'm gonna take the percussion off because we're not in the jazz band setting. D flat, E flat rather. My whole mode now changes because I'm in an organ mode. And this is the one reason why an organ is so great. I can hold that note as long as I want. It'll keep playing until I let go. Change my notes. Da, da, da. So that is why the organ is a dominant instrument because of all the sounds that you heard me do, and I didn't push any buttons or set any settings, and I could again while playing in real time, you'll be setting drawbars and making adjustments in real time. Let's shut this off so that that takes us out of the organ. And go back to my live setting. Unable to hear the sounds of the organ. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, that's not good. That means I've got a glitch. Means there's a glitch. Oh, you're right. I'm looking at OB. No, I'm on the wrong page to be looking at it. Go to my organ page. Sorry about that. I should have been paying attention. You're right. My organ page. It is not firing off. All right, let's go into it. Have an organ. Verify the correct device. Change the device. Let's put it back. And there we are. Had to reset a device. Sorry about that, guys. I got to go back and do all that again. You heard me plopping on keys without any sound. Now I got to redo those settings. That one, this one I set here. Here, and just one tick there. Pebbles out here, that down there. I want to change my cabinet setting. I like the 147 sound. The lows up a little bit more. And go back to here. All right. I am sorry about that. What key am I in? I'm in E flat. I should be on D flat. So, as I was not showing you on I Surrender All, how the sound of the organ really is the lead instrument now in the church. And we turn off that click, excuse me, not the click, but the percussion, and bring this up a little bit. As the loudest instrument in the church, as an organist, you've got to be the most skilled. Because believe it or not, the people in the church, they want to hear the organ because that gets them emotional. And if you know this walk up, and then you change your tone. Kick on that Leslie, bring up the additional one. Give them that full chord, a little bit of a jazz. Half a step, back up. Turn that Leslie on. That's why I say the organ is the lead instrument. Of course, even though you'll be working with an actual keyboard player. If you can have eye-to-eye contact, sometimes they've got musicians so spread out now. When I watch some of these drives, I'm like, how can these guys? Well, they're all talking on microphones and headphones, which means how can you even be in the service if you're listening on a headphone for somebody in an actual talkback mic? But I realize that's because they've got you guys spread out, and you want to know, hey, I'm in the one. Where are you at? I'm in the one. I want to go to the four. No, I want to stay in the one. Well, I want to go to the four. No, I'm staying in the one. Then you're going 4 times into one. And I'm watching this when these guys are doing that live, and I'm going, that would be so distracting to me. But when you're not the lead instrument, you have to follow the leader. So if he's saying staying in the one and he wants it 5 times, then that's what you're going to do if you want to be, what they call it, in unity. But when you what I say, when you get promoted from keyboard to the organ, you will find out that everything that you've done in the past changes. Now you're not looking to see should you go to the 4 and should you stay in the 4. You're deciding that. Four plus 1, 5. Now again, I'm watching this going on when I'm on the live streams of other churches. I'm like, okay, yeah, okay. Drop it half. Go back to the 4, 2, 5, 1. I'm like, okay, yeah. But as I say, when you become the organist of your particular ministry, you call the shots. Everyone is now following you, and you've got to give directions. And for you guys that can think that quickly, I generally don't know where I'm going to go. When I was an organist in a Pentecostal church, I was locked into what the lead minister was doing, male or female. So if they're in a particular, if they're not loud, neither am I. If they're starting to tune up, then I'm just hanging around here. I wouldn't know how to talk this out. Which is probably why in all of my years, outside of maybe 5, I didn't have a second person to play for. And if a second person playing with me for 5 years, my brother did. He played piano while I played the organ, and we never clashed. Preacher chords in the key of D flat, and they are just jazz chords that you're just tying together. All right, so that's what I wanted to show when there was no sound. Thank you, Brother Clark, for making me aware of that. I wasn't trying to slight to anyone by not giving you any sound. So, and I'm going to bring this to a close. Thanks you for those who have come in to spend some time with me. As I say, I just thought about throwing a quick shed on. The year is closing out for a lot of us, you guys that are still active in the church. I'm appreciating all of the viewer requests that I've been getting over this week. I thought I might take it easy this last week, but every time I get a new viewer request, they're pulling up a song either I've never heard before or one that was in my past. And it was a pleasure to rehash it again through the YouTube, the magic of YouTube, and then take the song apart and do a 8 to 12 minute lesson. I try to keep it to 8 minutes, but it went to 12 minutes because I was adding so much of what was in those recordings, part of the presentation. I don't want to leave anything out that you could work with. But I thank you all for coming in. Just make sure you acknowledge those: Josiah, Micah, Ronald, Joshua, Brother Guy Benson, Brother Andre Clark. Thank you for coming in and spending some time with me. This will stay up, of course, on my page. And this point of view, again, I'm working off one of my cameras here. Got to make sure that it's got me in focus correctly. There we go. Bring me in focus. There we go. And I got to watch how the lighting affects my glasses. I need my glasses so I can see what I'm doing. But thank you all for coming in. This may be a preview of what's going to be happening uh, during now 2023. I'm going to be doing some impromptu, and I may even plan them out maybe a month in advance, what week and what date and what time. So for those who are in different time zones, if you could be on with me, that would be great because I'd like the conversation. I also don't mind if you talk amongst each other because we need to know who we are so that in case one of us puts out a new musical production, as you see, I've got three of mine up there. I've got my fourth one in mind. I think I've already selected which one or two I'm going to do. I have songs I have written for the Easter season that have never been officially scored and singers put behind it. So that's what I'm gonna be working towards the future. I just started. I just as I say, I just upgraded my Pro Tools to the latest version. Had to make sure it wouldn't crash on my M1 Mac Mini, and it's actually running better than two versions before it did. So now that that's working well, and I got the correct software on it, I'll be writing out the lyric sheet for the singer who does tremendous background vocals for me. I'm going to have her put some background vocals to an Easter song I wrote back in 1989, I think. I think it was 89. I wrote it. It's called Tell the World. And I'll be getting that one out hopefully in February because Easter this year, I believe, is the second week in April. Let's go back and look at the calendar. But it's always good to have something new that people can introduce to singers. And it'll be in a format where a praise team can do it or a full choir if they have made their way back by that time. And it's just a matter of getting out what I have worked on in the past. I keep forgetting when I'm not playing, I don't need those headphones on. What I've worked on in the past that I can present it with what I call a good vocal singer's voice. Yes, she will be compensated. She did a great job on God Still Answers Prayer, and I know she will do an even greater job on my next production. It may cost me a little more, but because I'm going to have four sections to that song. The original song had four points, and I have to work out how I'm going to maneuver her to be able to do that. Because if she sings one part of the song, I can cut and paste that one section in the other places. So I'll script that out for her, get it to her in plenty of time to work on it, and pay her fee. And if any of you have any friends who can actually do studio work from home and can email and can has the ability to create background vocals or a lead singer. I'm looking for a tenor singer for one song. I have no problem sharing the money with others people here online. Again, we're no longer in a spread out. We are as close as an email now, and a production is as close as having someone send a file in seconds over to you, and then you just slap it onto a track, master it, and then it's ready to go to iTunes, CD Baby, Spotify, Pandora, and who knows, a dozen other platforms created such as myself and you can get your work out there. Well, let me stop talking because I often say if I don't stop talking, I won't stop talking. I see we have 9 in the chat. Thank you all for coming and spending some time with me. This was impromptu. This is December 28th. I may do another one maybe Friday evening, I should say. East Coast time, maybe 6 o'clock Friday evening, because it'd be so close to the 31st that I should leave that day free for you to get prepared for your evening watch night services. I did write a song for watch night. Made it up on the spot one watch night. I've got something to shout about. Jesus gave me something to shout about. And I just started playing it, and the choir started singing with it. D flat, I believe it was. Yes, D flat. And the choir director began putting things to the choir to help bring the song out. And they sung that song right into the new season. I've got something to shout about. Jesus gave me something to shout about. And that's all it was. Quick, as I say, a popcorn song. but it inspired those who sang it, and more importantly, those who actually heard it being sung. As I say, if I don't stop, I won't stop. Usually I end with a song, so if there's a request, I usually ask a request if there's any song you'd like to hear on the way out. If not, I think I'll keep this mode. No, I'll always switch back to my instructional mode because there's always a chord I want to show. Um, let's see, what could I go out with? What key have I haven't been in B flat? I haven't been in B flat. Let's go there. No, I would touch Trust Me, but I know I'll get a notification if I did Trust Me. Um, I'm gonna try and sneak it in there. Trust me. I just won't play it where it is noticeable. Let's turn off the drummer. I'm not familiar with It's a New Season. I know that's one of those praise songs. I'm not familiar with it. Familiar with that song. I'd have to hear it and then take it apart. I gotta fool the algorithms. Let me stop so that the YouTube algorithm will go past me. That'll fool them. Just gonna hold that. The algorithm will go past me. Go past me, algorithm. We just hear your tapping keyboard sounds. What? Okay, something is crashing on. Or maybe that's good that you hear me tapping so that I'm not offending YouTube. Okay, so my OBS has apparently resetting my sound. There it is. Alright, now I gotta sneak it in. This is what I was doing so that I don't get caught by YouTube. They can't track that. Okay, so apparently I have to do a reset of my entire computer, which is probably good because if they had heard what I was playing, I'd be getting a copyright notification about now across this. Thank you for coming in and watching me. I owe you one. Sorry about that, Holy Lessons. Sorry about that, but it's good. I won't get a notification from copyright notification from YouTube now for playing someone's song. I've gotten it before on that same song. Trust Me by Richard Smallwood. Thanks for coming in. I'm going to have to go over my system and find out what is crashing it because it's been fine each time I've gone on. Maybe I need to do an upgrade on my OBS or an upgrade on my system. Thanks again. Take care. Be blessed, everyone. Hope to see you probably Friday evening for at least an hour at least. Take care. Bye.